Hello everyone, this is Crypto Maximalist. Welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and get involved if you like the content. We're currently running a giveaway for those who are liking our videos, so give the video a like if you want to be entered into that giveaway. So we're just taking a look at Bitcoin here, and as we can see, looking like we obviously, as we said, we did come down and close outside of this range that we have been in for a good while here. A bit of a renaissance off the bottom, and now looking like we've come down and retested that low somewhat here, forming, a fairly decent, you would say, W double bottom. It's had a bit of a nice bounce off the bottom here. If we just take a look at the hourly time frame, over the past few hours, you can see what's happened. Obviously, we've been trickling all the way down to the downside here, but a very, very big green bullish candle showing rejection of that low. People getting in and buying Bitcoin in these areas down here around 15.5, 16k, up to around 16.7k right now, forming potentially, another little range looking something like this. And, you could potentially say that this is probably the resistance up here that you do need to see come and being broken. We come down here. This is your previous support flipped into resistance. Support, resistance up here. We've come down, retested the support, got a nice rejection off the low. And you'd probably be expected getting back above those hourly EMAs there as well. You could see yourself coming back up to the top of the range again. Retest that resistance up at around 18k, we would say most likely. It's very, very possible to see that. You can see here coming back, we've actually got some decent, double bottom action going here from what we can tell. And if we look at the, these higher time frames, the daily, you can see this massive bullish divergence we've been talking about for a good while, making lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the RSI. I mean, look at the MACD, the huge momentum, difference in momentum. Like, in our opinion, sooner or later, we are probably going to start to see a fairly big bounce off these lows for Bitcoin, in our opinion, because the strength of the downside has been decreasing here for a good while from what we can tell. I mean, this is a huge bullish divergence on the daily time frame, isn't it? If we're looking at the weekly, you can see as well, huge bullish divergence on the weekly. Obviously the MACD on the weekly starting to show some, a little bit of a pickup off these lows, momentum to the downside decreasing on the weekly time frame. But the huge amount of bullish divergence that we're seeing on the weekly time frame, just like we saw up here when we had this bearish divergence, when we're at the all-time highs, we do think, sooner rather than later, Bitcoin is probably going to have a decent bounce off the downside, in our opinion. Obviously, this FTX news was like the nail in the coffin for losing that range low for Bitcoin, a black swan event. But what people probably aren't expecting right now is a big short squeeze to the upside, which we think is entirely possible considering the data that we are looking at. And also, you cannot deny these huge divergences in price action that we are seeing for Bitcoin and have been seeing for a good while. So as we said, very simply, if we're looking at this as a bit of a range, then our target to the upside is that 18k level, and our target to the downside would be a bounce again at around 15.5k. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to check out the links in the description below to support the channel. Grab yourself some free money bonuses, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video.